a label using the Mail Merge Wizard. I've got a blank document here, and what I'm going to do is go click on the Mailings tab and then click on Start Mail Merge. And at the bottom of Start Mail Merge is the step-by-step Mail Merge Wizard, and when I click on that, the pane at the side shows, and I'm just going to reduce the size so you can see the whole document. So the first step is to select the type of document, and as I said before, we're going to look at labels. Envelopes are created almost the same way. The only thing that's different is that there's obviously multiple addresses or content on each page for a label, whereas an envelope's a lot like a mail merge letter. Each envelope is a separate page. Okay, so I choose labels, then I click on next, and it says select the starting document. So I can't really use the current document as is, so I can change the document layout or start from an existing document. I'm just going to change this to a label. I'm going to go to the bottom and I can click on label options, and that will bring up the window that I can select the actual label for. Here we go. Now it can be a continuous feed printer or a normal page printer, and mine's a normal printer that the paper goes in one at a time. If I had separate trays, I can select the tray, and I need to choose the label vendor or the label type or brand. And you can see we have quite a few here. So if your label's in the list, that's fantastic. If it's not, it may actually say what it is. Maybe some of them will say equivalent to Avery, blah, blah, blah. Some of them, they might be a bigger brand that you didn't think was in here, but there are. There's quite a few. You can see Staples, Tower, Planet, etc. So you might be surprised that your label is listed. If it's not, you can create a label. Okay. So there should be, might have to do that in another label window, but there's definitely ways. Oh, here it is down here, new label, and you can create a label from scratch and actually give it a name. So if you've got 100 boxes of these labels, you might as well save it and use it all the time. And I'm just going to go in and choose a label. This is a shipping label, 9 centimeters, maybe a smaller label might be better. And as I'm going through the labels, can you see it says label information, the type of label, changes, etc. And then when you find the label that's yours, you can click on OK. And if it's like mine, it looks like a blank piece of paper, but you know it's not because there's a little four-headed arrow here. You go to the Tables tool into the layout, and there's a button that says View Grid Lines, and you can actually click it and view what the labels really look like. Once you've done that, click on Next, and you can select the recipients. You can use an existing list, either Word or Excel, or another type of list somewhere. Select from Outlook contacts, or type in a list if you have it printed on paper. Use an existing list. I click on Browse, and mine is here in Documents. I'm going to use my Excel spreadsheet, and that is the tab, and there we go. Okay, so I've got the information. I click on OK. If I'd opened it up and I thought, oh, that's the wrong one, I can select a different list, or if I've closed it and I thought, oh, I should have gotten rid of, because I saw them yesterday and I told them about this, so I can click and untick, and then I click on Next at the bottom. And now I arrange my labels. Now I can use the address block, and I could match my fields to make sure everything's there. Or I can use the More Items. When I use More Items, I tend to just add most of them in. And you can double click, go to Add, and you can see they're adding in the background. There we go, and then I close. And then I just put in my spaces and enters. There we go. Now the only thing is I have it in the first. Do we really want to have to go into the next one and do that all again, or copy and paste? Well, for labels, you've got this replicate labels at the bottom. And if I click on this, it will then go through and copy all of this into here. Now, if I'd forgotten something, like, I don't know, maybe I'd put last name, comma space, first name. If I make any changes, like that, space in, not sure if space went in. Then I go in and use my update labels. It then updates them all. Don't worry about this next record. That's going to disappear. It's a code that actually tells the computer to move to the next row on your data source. So that's not actually going to be there. You can see my pane is not big enough. I have to scroll down, and then I can click on Next. Now I can preview, and you can see there is no next. Okay, the next record has disappeared, and I actually see the next one. And I can change my recipients. Now in labels, it just moves them all over. Okay, so that the first one changes. And you can scroll down and see. You can also make changes to the table. There we go. Okay, I might even move it in a bit. There we go. And if I wanted to, I can edit the recipient list. I'm good with this, so I'm just going to click on Complete the Merge. And then I've got two options. I could just click on Print and send it straight to the printer, and if there's a problem, I'd have to print again. Or I can edit individual labels, and I'm going to edit individual labels, and you can choose all, the current record, or from certain numbers. Click on OK, and there we go. I now have all of my labels, and I can just make a cursory. Ooh, I've got lots of blanks there. So now I know the last couple pages, or the last page definitely I don't want to print. So I can go through and make that change. Whereas if I just sent it straight to the printer, hadn't noticed that, then I would have wasted a whole page of labels. So that is mail merge to labels.